Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel as we're going to take a look at the Cancer new moon happening on July 17th, 2023. That's at 2:32 p.m. Eastern Time, so be sure and adjust for your location on the planet. The Cancer new moon occurs when the sun and the moon are conjunct at 24 degrees 56 minutes of Cancer. So we round up to 25 degrees of Cancer, where there are new emotional intentions coming through for you to trust. Cancer is the first water sign of the zodiac wheel, and it is about your internal emotional energy, what you are feeling and sensing. Cancer is a private energy. It's where we retreat. We call our energy inside of ourselves and listen to it. We trust what is coming up. We trust what we're feeling, and we allow that part of ourselves to have its full expression. With a Cancer new moon, which is ruled by the moon in its home sign of Cancer, this is about really tapping into what your intuition is quietly whispering to you. And I feel like this is a new moon that is asking a few things of us. First of all, it's ensuring that we are in the best possible frequency, emotional and intuitive frequency for what we want to manifest. So really tune in to what you want next. Every new moon is a time of new intentions. And when you are aware of this, you can work with it powerfully to first check in with yourself. Sometimes with manifestations, we're so focused on the external world. When is this going to show up? When is this going to happen? When is this going to come through in my inbox? When am I going to do this? When? How? But manifestation starts with your own frequency and ensuring that you are in alignment with that which you want to create. So this is a time to really get clear on what are you wanting to move into next, what is calling to you, what feels good. Trust your feelings, trust your feminine energy. What is feeling good to you? Perhaps even in ways that are new or different, perhaps in ways that are inspiring you into some fresh possibilities. So this is a time to also check in with your immediate environment, because Cancer is about our home, family matters, where we reside, what is in your everyday environment and how that feels. Does it feel comfortable and supportive? Or are there things that are draining you? This could be where you come back home to yourself and you check in on what is needing to be acknowledged or expressed, what you're needing to trust in yourself that is important for honoring who you are and your own energy. So this would be an important new moon to get into alignment with the feeling of what you want to create next. Being sure that you're in the highest emotional frequency. But wait, there's more, because this is a very dynamic Cancer new moon that is actually showing us more about what we are no longer going to allow, entertain, accept. So in this chart, you can see, right, the sun and the moon at 25 are opposing Pluto, which has returned back to Capricorn, retrograde at 29 degrees of Capricorn. Now, this new moon brings in a lot of energy that's meant to be activated during the lunar cycle. And typically that involves the 2 weeks after a new moon, where we go from the inception point of a new moon to the fullness and illumination of the full moon 2 weeks later. But at this new moon, with the sun and the moon at 25 and Pluto at 29 retrograde Capricorn. This energy is actually squeezing something out of you, and I just got the visual of a tube of toothpaste, all right? Because something is being emotionally purged with this opposition from Pluto, but it's not exact until about 4 days after this new moon. So when the sun is at 29 degrees, July 20th, 21st, is when the sun is exactly opposite this Pluto. However, the moon is going to be opposite Pluto first because the moon moves faster. So the moon will get to 29 degrees of Cancer, probably about 12 hours after this new moon. And what we have here is actually the last opposition to Pluto in Capricorn between this Cancer energy. And so there's a few ways to look at this. You could look at it as what parts of your emotional core, your emotional body, your emotional self, how you internalize energy is being further cleansed, healed, cleaned, and you're able to even detach from something that maybe you were tightly gripped onto almost from a young age. Maybe it was a childhood dream. Maybe it was something that came up or occurred for you when you were younger. There's so many ways this energy can go. Something about this is a youthful energy, naive, trusting, and it's been up against this Pluto in Capricorn since 2009. So you could look at this new moon as how much you have emotionally evolved and emotionally matured since 2009, if we were to take a very long-term perspective on what we've been moving through with the Cancer-Capricorn polarity axis. But more recently, I feel like there's something else being squeezed out of the tube of toothpaste. It feels very unconscious. It almost feels like that connection to when you were younger, when you didn't know how the world really worked, or how energy worked, or consequences. Even understanding, I'm getting that, this is interesting, almost like a fairy tale expectation of people, or thinking that life was going to be a certain way, or it's almost like there's this innocent purity to the Cancer energy that is a form of naivete. And so we've had to really evolve our emotional selves and take responsibility for what we're feeling, what we're journeying through, what's coming up for you. It feels like there's been a very deep strengthening as well that the Cancer energies have been experiencing because of the ongoing oppositions to Pluto and Capricorn since 2009. And this is the last significant opposition to Pluto and Capricorn. What needs to be further matured in you? Where do you need to take more responsibility for some of those lower lower Cancer expressions? And that could be being defensive or almost being too closed down. Maybe that's not knowing how to show up in your full power or being reliant upon others, because Cancer is a caregiver and will basically take care of anyone else and put themselves last. So this could also be related to your internal maternal and your internal paternal energies, and how you are learning to parent yourself and your needs from a healed place, from an empowered place. And this energy begins at the new moon, but then again, it grows in intensity until July 21st, when the sun is exactly opposite this Pluto. So there could be things coming through, like streaming in around what you're emotionally processing, understanding, taking responsibility for, and also making decisions based on your own terms, based on what you need, prioritizing your needs, stabilizing your energy, stabilizing your emotional core, stabilizing your home base. And then as the sun and the moon voyage to 29 degrees, not only do they have an opposition here to this Pluto, but then they're also meeting up with the North Node, now in Aries at 29 degrees, just entered Aries, and the South Node at 29 degrees of Libra. And then there is a Cardinal Grand Cross. And the cardinal energy wants you to create something new. So there's a creation energy here that's bursting out that could be very uncomfortable. The cardinal energies are the ones that initiate new seasons of the year. So there's like this strong push to initiate a new emotional experience that you're ready for, but maybe you've been scared of or hesitant or wondering if it can happen, if it's even worth it. Because the Capricorn energy is about a practical focus, realistic. And I feel like the interactions with the North Node in Aries, the South Node in Libra, it's kind of this, are you moving into exactly what you want to manifest, or are you stuck in some old ruts, some old emotional patterns? The other thing I'm hearing in regards to manifestation is, are you standing in line for what you really want? If you really want a gourmet 5-course experience of something, why are you standing in line at the dollar store? Okay, so this is about really being in energetic alignment with what you want, where you're going, what matters to you. And that energy, I just feel this is a powerful beginning point. After the new moon, once the sun gets to 29 degrees of Cancer and is squaring and opposing, because it's at 29 degrees, that's also ending points. We know those as the critical degrees of completion and graduation. So getting back to that tube of toothpaste, it's almost like there's something that maybe you finally just are done with. And you're realizing, this isn't good for my heart. This isn't good for my energy. This doesn't feel good. This isn't even what I want. And I didn't realize maybe I was doing something or participating based on someone else's needs, because the Cancer energy is very responsive and accommodating. It's like, oh, I've been accommodating all these people. I've been taking care of all of their needs. Who's taking care of me? That's your responsibility. Coming back home to yourself, to your needs, to what you want to create in your life. And this is a Cancer new moon that's going to show you what's complete and also support you getting in alignment for that next manifestation that I feel has already been whispering. There's something, we talk a lot about Pluto and Capricorn and how tough it's been. Because Pluto destroys and things die and there's endings and there's a sense of powerlessness and loss and a lot of things leave. But the beauty of Pluto is like there is no going back to that. So what do you want next? What is the thing that gives you that surge of life where you're like, yes, this has my name on it. Yes, I can create this. Yes, there's a yes energy. But it's the yes you've arrived at through the hard knocks. It's the yes you're ready to claim because you've done all the other things. Okay, this is funny. Now I'm getting the visual of being at the end of the alphabet, where it's like, okay, I did plan A, I did plan B, I did plan C, I did plan D. Here we are at letter Z, letter Z. Okay, I'm ready. I've learned the lessons. I've taken the hard knocks. I've understood some things. I've learned, I've grown, I've evolved. Now I'm back in my power of where I'm going next. But it starts at your emotional core. And it also starts, again, at that frequency of what you want to feel, of what you want to experience. What is something that just feels good, especially to your heart? I'm getting the visual of a calm core, a calm emotional core, a calm, stable, solid emotional core that is aware of what you need in simple terms. And this is a new moon that could shift you in that direction. And because the nodes of fate just moved to Aries and Libra, it's supporting something new in you that maybe you're meeting in yourself for the first time because of the hard knocks, maybe because of relationship lessons, partnerships, exchanges with others. I'm actually seeing this as the energy of like spiraling back to yourself, spiraling back home to the truth of what you need and what you want. Now, the sun and the moon will also make a trine to this Neptune at 27 degrees of Pisces retrograde. And that trine supports moving towards the next dream. It's a very trusting energy. And I feel it as, this is so beautiful. What are you trusting if you were to visualize an army of angels and guides behind you who are supporting you, saying, yes, you can create that. Yes, you can manifest that. Let's put energy into that. And that would be one way that this Neptune and Pisces retrograde is beautifully supportive. 2 days before this new moon, the sun was sextiling Uranus when it was at 22 degrees. That's still in play here as something that maybe you're breaking out of. You're like, I'm done. But also there's exciting possibilities with a sextile from this Uranus. And in Taurus, there's something about it coming to fruition in the real world in a tangible way. Now we also have, when we look at the personal planets, Mercury at 12 degrees of Leo, Venus at 28 degrees of Leo, because she will be turning retrograde July 22nd. So she's going to be at this 28 degrees of Leo for a while as she slows down. And this is a slow consideration. Venus is slowing down, and there's a checking in with what you want, what you desire, what you need, what is good for your heart, what is loving, it's like there's a courage with Leo, there's a confidence, there's a sense of really understanding what you desire to create in your life. And we'll keep talking about this Venus and Leo during her retrograde, but this could be a thoughtful pause and checking in on what is going on in your heart. Because Venus retrograde, it will remove and disassemble things in your life that aren't meant to go forward. So that doesn't mean every relationship ends, every friendship ends. It doesn't mean that everything isn't going to work. It means there's a thoughtfulness that's being required. Bring in more understanding of what you want, what you need. And this Venus retrograde can help you with that. And Mars is in this Virgo now and is approaching an exact opposition to Saturn at 6 degrees of Pisces retrograde. This is also a slowdown. Saturn opposing Mars is a stop sign of action, meaning stop. Go no further. Check in with what this Mars in Virgo is focused on. And also, there could be something here with the opposition from Saturn that's removed, where that Mars in Virgo is trying to make moves and get things done. And Saturn has obstacles and says, actually, we're not going to work on that right now. There's a change in priorities. So when I look at the overall energy of this chart and the overall messages, there is a slowdown here around what your energy needs, where your energy is at, and it's not coming from your mind, because this is an intuitive signature here. This is like listening to how you feel and allowing that to guide you. If something feels good, move in that direction. If something doesn't feel good, step back from that direction. It's almost, the simplicity of it is there, but that might not be how you can navigate it in the real world, because I know that some things are more complex and there's more dynamics involved. But I feel this Cancer new moon is a coming home to yourself, checking in on what you're feeling, ensuring that you are standing in line for what you want. And that's where you're creating from. That's where your frequency lives. Your frequency is living in a place of empowerment. And that's where you're ready for the next steps. And as I said, it's 4 days after this new moon, so July 21st, when the sun is at 29 degrees of Cancer, that we have this cardinal T-square applying pressure to new beginnings, where you want to go next. But first, you got to figure out if there's anything left in that tube of toothpaste that you even want, and then you throw it out. Get your new tube of toothpaste. But this feels like something, it feels like it's really important to be conscious of what you're choosing right now. And this chart says, choose your best and highest good. And that's where the universe will show up to meet you. The universe will meet you in that energetic location. The universe will meet you and say, yeah, we've got this whole team of army, this whole army of angels, this whole team of guides wanting you to have that. Do you feel worthy? Do you feel deserving? Do you feel like you want to claim it? So this is a Cancer new moon that's a little bit bigger because of this Cardinal Grand Cross. It also means you'll have to let something go. We're going to have 4 energies at 29 degrees, North Node, Pluto, South Node, and the Sun on July 21st. You've got to let the old go. You've got to let something go that could be even just a part of your own energy. I mean, it's like looking at your own emotional patterns, or something within you that you're like, I don't need to keep feeling this way. I don't want to feel this way. There's this emotional purging, but it asks you to take responsibility. Take responsibility for what you've created this far in your life, and then know that that's a demonstration of what you're going to create next going forward. So where are you ready to level up, to shift up, and to basically live from a place of greater emotional mastery and manifestation? So the Cancer new moon, yes, it's live and active July 17th, but the energetics of it go into July 21st. And we'll be talking about this on my Wednesday podcast if you would like to join and listen in every Wednesday. I also have a new episode for you every Monday where we talk about a special astrological topic or theme. So as always, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I hope it offers some relevant insights into your journey at this time. And I'll be back soon with another video for you.